Airboat that I made out of bike parts and rollerblade parts. I figure it's kind of cheaper to make them out of them parts because they're so abundant and they don't cost too much instead of hitting a hobby shop. Okay, what I have here is I have my controls. My servo arm wasn't long enough, so what I did is I took a piece of aluminum and I pretty much just cut out a piece as long as I needed and bent it so that it was big enough that I could put the nut that goes to the brakes of a regular pedal bike. Then I ran the cable through and I locked it in, and I ran my brake cable line through a tube to make sure that it doesn't crimp up or anything. And then it comes out the back, and that cable turns my rudder. If you look at it, that's the cable that makes it goes right and left. And what I did is for my shaft that comes off of my motor, I took and I cut out my own propeller. Anybody can cut a propeller out, you just have to center it up right. I took and made my shaft goes into what is a rollerblade wheel. I just grounded it down so that it didn't have to be so big and bulky. Then I took and put a brace for it to stand up, and I drilled a hole through it and a nut and a bolt and a washer a little bit bigger than the bearings to make sure that the bearings don't come out, so my propeller rides pretty freely. And what I did for my cage around my propeller, I took a bike rim, aluminum bike rim, and I just split it in half all the way around, and then I put little pieces of aluminum in and tie wired it together. Then I screwed it down. At the bottom is nothing but drywall screws, and made another brace for it out of aluminum. You can bend aluminum with just heating it up with the torch and putting it over something that's a straight edge and hitting it with a hammer. So then I took my tie wire, and that's how I made my guard. Is nothing more than just tie wire. You can go get it at Home Depot or anywhere, and it works pretty good. And this right here, this is my gas tank holder. It's nothing more than a piece of aluminum I just bent. Once again, I heated it a little bit, but you really ain't even got to heat it. You can just kind of bend this around something, and I just set my gas tank in there. Let me get a gas tank. Don't keep on shining in that. So my gas tank just fits right in here, nice and snug, and that's it. And I run my gas lines right there. And inside my control box I have my batteries, my servo for my gas to see how fast, how much gas I want to give it. Then I have my receiver right here. But I put everything down. I didn't use screws, I just used a hot glue gun, because that way if you mess up you can just break the mold and reset it again, and it's real simple to do that. Then my antenna just comes out, a little piece of straw, a little piece of tubing, plastic tubing I got from Home Depot, and I just cut a little slit in it and put some hot glue on it and let it come up. And my latch for it, it's just a little latch I found that was on an old light. Got a piece of aluminum, bent it, used a couple drywall screws to hold it down, and there you go. So that's how I made my airboat. Okay.